weekly update with myself, Sarah Lean. Now I'm doing it slightly differently again this week because I'm on holiday this week, so it's live and I've come down to a favourite location. And yeah, I was setting up there and that swan that you can just see in the background decided to swim right up to me and stand and stare at me, and I thought it was actually going to attack me, so I'm trying to keep an eye on that swan. So if you see it coming up behind me, do let me know, because swans are absolutely gorgeous animals and totally protected here in the UK because they're protected by the Queen, but they're vicious. So if you see the swan, let me know. So yeah, this week I am off on holiday, and yeah, I'm definitely not in work mode, so I have notes of the Azure news this week, but I do want to give you the Azure news, and I didn't want to break the streak because I think I'm at video 96, I think this one is, so I definitely didn't want to break the streak and not get to that 100 of streaks. So yeah, let's dive into the news, and if you are watching this live, please do chat to me, please do say hello, tell me where you're watching from and what the weather's like where you are as well. So this week we have seen a new Azure region being launched. Now, I talked about this, I think it was Ignite 2020 with Brian Janis, who is the kind of data center manager. He looks after sustainabilities with our data center. So they have actually launched West US 3, which is a new Azure region that is based in Arizona. And when I spoke to Brian about this back in I think it was Ignite 2020, we were talking about the sustainability of that actual region and that data center that we've built out there. And we built it in Arizona for a few reasons, because the land was available. It's also very close to where our customers are, and we can actually use a lot of solar energy. I've never been to Arizona, but I do know that it is plentiful in sun, unlike Scotland, although today we have a scorcher here. So they're using a lot of solar technology and solar energy to power the data centre. And they're also looking at investing in local projects around water replenishment as well. So there's lots of good things going on around this data region, or Azure region, sorry. And with this Azure region, they do have availability zones, so that's really cool. So it has that availability zone feature. If you want to move your resources into there, you could potentially use Azure Resource Manager to move resources from another region into the West US 3 to take advantage of these new availability zones if you want to do that. But yeah, very cool to see these new regions coming about, and I'll definitely be playing and seeing what availability there is in terms of services for the West US 3. So that's that new region in Azure. Now, we've also had an announcement, and this was at Build, but I think they've featured it a wee bit more now because all of the influx of news from Build has went. But coming soon to the Azure Communication Service is call recording. Now, I think this is pretty cool because call recording is something that a lot of companies use for a variety of reasons, and being able to do this within the Azure Communication Services is pretty cool. Looking at what the team are doing, they're looking to allow you to stop, start, pause and the recording whenever you want during interaction with the API. It's also going to have built-in temporary storage for up to 48 hours, so you'll be able to store those recordings, either video or audio format, in this temporary storage inside the Azure Communication Services for up to 48 hours. So as you can either maybe push it off to permanent storage somewhere, maybe do some data analysis on it and then delete it. You know, they might have compliance needs and you might not want to keep all of that data. So there's lots of different things that you can do with that. You can also push the output of that file, so the recording that the Azure Communication Service has taken, and actually push it through to Azure Cognitive Services to do some sentiment analysis and get some insights into the data as well. So again, lots of functionality coming with this. I think it's coming next month, so in July 2021. So if you're looking into call recording or you're needing a solution for call recording, keep an eye out on what the Azure Communication Services team are doing, because that looks pretty cool. Now, the other feature that I noticed that we launched in general availability this week was zone redundancy within Azure Cache for Redis, and I can never ever say that right. But in the premium tier, you now have zone redundancy built into it, so you can deploy your caches across multiple availability zones and obtain increased availability for your Azure Cache for Redis. If you've just joined me and you're watching me read my notes, I am reading my notes because I am on holiday mode this week, and definitely my brain is not computing all of this news properly. Do say hello if you've joined me, and we'll have a wee chat. The other thing that I noticed, we've done some price reductions as well. So we've reduced the prices of the confidential compute virtual machine size in the DCS-V2, which is not easy to say, and I definitely need notes for that. But yeah, we now have confidential compute pricing reductions for that certain virtual machine size. So again, if you're using confidential compute, have a look and see if you can utilise that virtual machine, or if there's going to be cost savings coming down the line for you. The last bit of news, and this is quite a big bit of news because I have seen it, heard and talked about behind the scenes, and I didn't realise it was coming out now, and I want to understand the proper implications of this. But we now have the Azure Monitor agent, which is also being called AMA, which is interesting. Gotta love the acronyms that they come up with. But this is a new agent that is aimed at addressing some of the collection or the data collection aspects of Azure Monitor that we've seen people ask about and talk about. It's supposed to replace all other agents in this area, consolidating the features basically and providing more capabilities for your data collection. It's going to collect the data and send it to Azure Monitor or Azure Monitor logs or metrics and event hubs, storage counts and many other destinations that you need to send telemetry to in the future. So I'm quite interested to see where the team are going with this new Azure Monitor agent. Like I said, I have heard it talked about internally, not really dived into much of the detail of it. But it's quite interesting to see, and I think there's new data collection rules, DCRs, that have also been launched alongside this monitoring agent. So it'll be pretty cool to have a look at this. It'll definitely be something that I'll be looking at when I go back to work next week, or trying to fit in next week, because I'm quite interested to see where this goes and see what this new agent is and understand the different capabilities of how other things work into it and what the differences actually are with the agent that we have now, and also understanding if it's ready to transition, you know, from your existing monitor agent that you've installed. What's the process? What do you need to do? Is there any changes that you need to do? So yeah, big announcement there as well. So pretty excited to see that. But as I said, I've been on holiday this week, so I've been disconnecting. I've not really been paying attention to what's been happening. I have posted a few blog posts, so thank you to everybody that's viewed them. Thank you to everybody that has reshared all of that. I really do appreciate what you've been doing there and keeping my blog going, even though I've been offline and enjoying some of the amazing weather that we've had here in Scotland. I've also been enjoying the Euros. So there's a small match on tonight. Don't know if you've noticed, but you know, Bonnie Scotland will be playing England tonight. So that's going to be exciting to see. I don't know when we last had a competitive match against England, so it'll be super exciting to see that. But yeah, I'm just enjoying the time off today. It's definitely going to be sitting in the sun. It's supposed to be a really scorching warm day. So I'm going to be enjoying that. Hope you're all staying well. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me always. And like I said, we are at weekly update 96. We'll soon be hitting the 100th. I have scoped out a location which is totally not suitable because there's no phone signal to do a live from. But I have a second location that I'm going to try and scope out and hopefully make that a live video on the 100th as well. So yeah. Stay happy everybody, stay safe, and I will catch you in my next video.